welcome back to my channel for another video. Today I'm here to do a pregnancy update. I cannot even believe that I'm saying that, still here right now at 15 weeks pregnant. It has been a minute since I picked up this camera, so please bear with me. There's a lot to unpack. I had actually anticipated on filming quite a lot of this pregnancy, given that it's most likely going to be our last. I really wanted to do daily vlogging and all of these videos, and I had all of these great ideas, but ultimately like so many of us, I got quite ill in the first trimester. I'm still struggling with it a little bit now, but I am starting to come out the other end, which is nice. It's a nice relief. And so pretty much my whole life just went on hold. I was in survival mode for the last, I don't know, almost 10 weeks. And yeah, I'm just starting to get back into things now, which is why I'm here to film my pregnancy update. So I thought I'd start today off a little bit differently with an ovulation and pregnancy test line progression for you guys. I find these super informative. I know everyone has a different cycle, everyone has a different story. This is mine. Typically, I would have in the past a 28-day cycle. I've always been pretty regular like that. And for the most part, I would ovulate on cycle day 19, which is quite late, I know. That's just something that throughout the last 7 years trying to get pregnant, and throughout all my pregnancies, it's always been fairly consistent. Since I was still breastfeeding this time around, which is something totally different, my cycles were very different. So I would have somewhere between a 24 or a 27-day cycle. It was never anything other than those 2 days. It was always either a 27 or a 24 day. And for the most part, I still ovulated on cycle day 19. However, the cycle that I got pregnant, you guys will see here, I ovulated on cycle day 16. So that is different for me. It's never really happened before. It is quite early. So I don't know if that's how I got pregnant, just because I had an earlier ovulation. I feel like this cycle would have been a 27-day cycle had I got my period, because I did do a pregnancy test at 24 days and it was negative. I feel like if I was going to have a 24-day cycle, it would have been positive on that day. But I did get a positive pregnancy test on cycle day 28. So that was my first one. And then, as you can see, I might have gone a little bit overboard with my pregnancy tests. I did take quite a few, but I hope you guys can enjoy seeing the line progression. I definitely enjoy seeing it. I find having that proof in front of me super reassuring. And even though it might end badly, and they are expensive, I think for peace of mind, it's worth doing it for me. So let me know in the comments if you fell pregnant while still breastfeeding, if you noticed a huge change in your cycles too. In terms of symptoms this pregnancy, I feel like it's so different to previous pregnancies, and I could be wrong, my mind could be playing tricks on me, but I feel like this time around I haven't vomited nearly as much, although granted I have been pretty diligent with taking my ondansetron. I take 8 milligrams morning and night. However, in the last couple of weeks I have scaled that back a little bit, and I'm only taking it now when I feel really sick. This time around it was more nausea. I struggled with it around the clock. I would wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning with really bad nausea. I would go to bed at night time with it. I would wake up in the morning with it. It was with me all day, every day. This time around as well, we actually went on a road trip. We took the boys to the snow. So it's about an 8-hour drive to Melbourne from Adelaide, and then an 8-hour drive back, and then lots of other driving. Obviously, we're on holidays. It's a driving holiday. I would highly not recommend going on a driving holiday in your first trimester of pregnancy, especially if you are somebody that already struggles with motion sickness and car sickness. It was not fun. I really struggled. I tried so hard to just be in the moment. I wanted to vlog all of it so I could keep those memories forever. And I mean, there's a vlog that you guys will probably see before this video. Hopefully you'll see it before this video, and I'll put some of the footage in it for you. There isn't a lot, because I was just trying so hard to just get through my days and just be present with the boys as much as possible. I was falling asleep at like 7:30 at night, so I was no fun with Matt. Yeah, it was quite the interesting trip, but we survived, we got through it. I am starting to come out the other side now of the all day, all night sickness, but I guess along with that comes the psychological side of things. If you are new to my channel, we have had 5 miscarriages and a stillborn baby between the 2 boys, and I suffer from a lot of anxiety. This time round, I feel like for the first 12 weeks I was super positive, everything was going well. I thought, you know, I was sick enough, all the scans lined up date wise and things like that, so I had no real reason to worry, and I don't know, I just went into this feeling super positive this time around. However, as soon as 12 weeks hit, or like the end of the first trimester hit, so for the last 3 weeks, I have been insanely anxious about this pregnancy. I don't know why. Like I said, all the scans have come back perfectly fine. I'll talk about them in a little bit, but I did end up going and buying a Doppler this time around, just purely, the big truck's coming down the street, so you probably hear that in the background, just to put my mind at ease. And I know some of you are going to have opinions on that, don't use it, whatever. For me, mentally, like the struggle of just not knowing if everything's okay, especially on a day like today where I'm feeling a little bit better, is just, it's too much. It can be crippling. So just having that reassurance that a couple of seconds, yep, I can hear the heartbeat, just makes all the difference to me. I did check yesterday and baby's heartbeat was 140, which is right on like par with a 15-week fetus. So very happy with that. Another thing that is different this pregnancy for me is the fact that my placenta is a posterior placenta, which means it's at the back. I've always had anterior placentas, so this time around feels so weird. Apparently I should be able to feel baby kick a lot earlier. I haven't felt anything yet, but it just feels different. I don't know how to explain it. Like in previous pregnancies, I have felt like something was there, like there was like a tennis ball in my lower belly from like 6 weeks, but this time around I feel nothing. It's so weird, and I guess that could be aiding the anxiety to some degree. It's like, oh, I don't feel anything in my belly, so like, is there anything in there? That is something that is very different for me this time around. What else is there? I feel like there's just so much. Oh, so this time I have had the worst groin pain. So around 14 weeks it started, and I don't know if it's because I overdid it. I've been trying to catch up on my cleaning and things like that, but I mean, holy moly, you guys, the lightning crutch and groin pain in my butt, in my lower back, like the whole region has been insane. So that has been something that is different this time around. I know that I've said that I've had lightning crutch in the past, and I have, but this time it's just a whole nother level. Another thing that was super different this time around for me was the fact that I was still breastfeeding part the way through my first trimester. So I had to put a stop to it. It was a very difficult decision. I'm just going to put it out there. Made a lot easier by how painful it had become. It was like, if you guys have had a baby before and you've breastfed, you know those first couple of days where it's like somebody's literally putting clamps and pinching down on your nipples? That's what it was like, except having a 2-year-old with a very good latch. It was painful. It was so incredibly painful. It was actually a pretty smooth process. So if you guys want to hear more about that, let me know and I'll try and talk about it in a vlog coming up. But I feel like we went about it in a really gentle way, and it was really nice for both of us. There's just that sadness when, I don't know, you don't realize that that's the last time that you're going to nurse, and then it was the last time, and then I got super emotional, and then I started crying because, you know, I'm hormonal. And yeah, it was a very emotional time for us, but it was also very beautifully done as well. So if you want to know more about that, if you guys are struggling with weaning, let me know and I'll do a bit more of a video on that. But that was something that was different this time around. In fact, I have to say, even going into the second trimester, my nips are still very tender. And I can't remember how long they were tender in previous pregnancies. I feel like it was only for a couple of weeks. This time around, it's still there. The last thing that I've noticed that's different this time around compared to in previous pregnancies is my skin. So after Jacob was born, I had super dry skin, and I've sort of got back into having relatively good skin. But since I've been pregnant, I've noticed that I have really dry skin. So definitely around here, my arms, my legs, they've been really dry as well. Just, I don't know, it's a bit uncomfortable. I don't remember ever having that in early pregnancy with the boys, but yeah, that's just something that I've noticed this time around. And then I guess the last thing that I wanted to mention is my weight gain. Before this pregnancy, I was on such a health kick. I was doing so well. I lost just over 30 kilos and I was feeling really good. I have put on 6 kilos already and it is scary to me. Obviously, I'm pregnant, I'm going to gain weight. I'm trying to not worry about it too much. I guess it is what it is. It's part of it. In saying that, I am not eating keto at the moment and my body has been craving every carb under the sun. It is so bad. I've been eating chocolate, I've been eating bread, I've been eating muffins and bagels and cereals and oh my gosh, you guys, the works. I have been eating the works. So yeah, that part of it hasn't been all that much fun. I'm definitely growing out of my clothes a lot quicker than I would like to admit. I guess it is what it is. I am going to try, now that I'm in the second trimester and I'm starting to feel a little bit better, I'm going to try and cut back a little bit on the carbs and on the bad foods and eat a little bit more of the good stuff because, yeah, I am going to balloon otherwise and that's not going to be fun. In terms of appointments, I've actually had quite a few already in the first trimester. I see a specialist, so rather than going the midwife route, which is typical for here in Australia, I tend to see a specialist instead. So I see her every 4 weeks. I'm actually due to see her next week after my next ultrasound. So I'm having an ultrasound at 16 weeks to check my cervix length to try and prevent another preterm labour. I'll talk about all those appointments in a second, but I have seen her a couple of times already. I'm also seeing maternal fetal medicine, so they're taking care of me, and Bubs in terms of baby's heart. If this is your first time joining us, I will try and put a video here that kind of explains what's happened in the past to us because there's so much to go into and it's just too much for this video. So essentially I've had 5 miscarriages and a stillborn baby with a heart defect and 2 living babies. So this is where we are right now. But yeah, I am seeing maternal fetal medicine. That is what the appointment for next Monday is all about, the ultrasound. At this point, we are just trying to prevent another preterm labour. The 2 babies that I do have, Sam and Jake, Sam is 7 and Jake is 2, they were both premature. So Sam was born at 32 weeks and Jake was born at 36 weeks. So my goal this time is to make it over 37 weeks if this baby comes at 37 weeks on the dot. Oh my God, that is my birthday, you guys. And it's Valentine's Day. I just want to say, it's not fun having your birthday on Valentine's Day. You never get to see your friends because they're always out doing date night or something like that. And if you do want to go out, you have to pay nearly double just to go for dinner. So I'm hoping that this baby comes at 38 weeks. That's my goal, 38 weeks. I'm going to try and do everything in my power this time to get there. So yeah, we're seeing maternal fetal medicine for that. We're seeing my doctor for everything else. And what else have I had so far? Oh, I've already had 3 ultrasounds as well. I actually have some updated photos to share with you guys, and I want you guys to leave your guesses down below what you think the gender is going to be, because we are actually finding out the gender of this baby this time, which is so different to any other pregnancy that I've had. I've always waited until birth, and there is a small part of me this time around that wants to wait until birth, but at the same time, I don't want to say that I'm going to have gender disappointment, but I mean, I have always wanted to have a little girl. I don't think that's a secret. And, you know, if this baby turns out to be a boy, I don't really care. I'm going to love it just as much. But I feel like I want to have the time to say goodbye to the dream of having a little girl before baby comes, so that when baby does come, I'm not having any of those feelings on the day that baby comes, if that makes sense. Oh my God, I'm going to cry. These pregnancy hormones are insane. I feel bad even saying that out loud as well. I know that for a lot of people, gender disappointment is real, and yeah, I want to save my heart on the day the baby's born if it is a boy. from any kind of, I don't even know how to say this without sounding like I'm a horrible person. I don't care if it's a boy or a girl. Like, I really don't. I just want a healthy baby that I can love on for the rest of my life. But like I said, I feel like I need to say goodbye to that possibility so that on the day of the birth I can really enjoy it. And if it is a girl, I don't have anything girly because I've only ever had boys, so I'd like the opportunity to be able to buy some girly things, the pink blanket and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm probably sounding really crazy. I'm crying right now. This is what I've been like for the last 3 weeks, you guys. I've been an emotional wreck. Anyway, here are the photos of baby from 12 weeks. So this is our 12-week ultrasound. Leave your guesses down below what gender you think it is based on that. I don't know if we're going to be able to find out next week. Like I said, I've got an ultrasound next week. It's my 16-week one. We're going to be checking my cervix length. I'm sure they're going to check everything else as well, especially baby's heart. That appointment they typically do. But yeah, I thought if they can see the gender, I might get them to write it down in a card and then, I don't know, get a balloon and all of us, all 4 of us, find out at the same time. I think that would be really special. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure yet. What do you guys think I should do? Let me know in the comments below. Do you think I should find out the gender this time, or do you think I should just have a surprise? Oh, I'm so torn. I'm so torn. In terms of what's coming up for us moving forward with appointments, this Friday I have a glucose tolerance test, you guys. I hate this test with a passion. I am just trying to brace myself for it at this point. Typically I throw up before the hour's even over and then I have to go back and do it again. But I do have a sitter lined up. Matt's dad's going to come and watch Jakey for a couple of hours for me. So at least I don't have to take him with me, which is nice. And I'm just doing it locally as well. I'm not going to go into the hospital, so that as soon as it's done I can come home and Jakey and I can have a nap together, because honestly that's all I'm going to want to do. So that is this Friday, and then next Monday I have my 16-week ultrasound that I told you guys about. Again, that's to check my cervix length and baby's heart. They typically do both of those things and just check the growth and everything. So that one's based more on maternal fetal medicine. They just want to make sure that everything's on track and that my cervix isn't shortening early, given that I've had preterm labours in the past. And then on Tuesday I have my specialist appointment, and then I think I'm appointment free for a couple of weeks. And then at 20 weeks, I'm going to be having on the same day my 20-week morphology scan. I think that's what they call it. And then straight after that, we're having an echo scan on baby's heart. So that will take quite a while. And then after that, I have our final, hopefully, final appointment with maternal fetal medicine, depending on how everything looks with my cervix and baby's heart. Hopefully everything is all good and we're set to go. And then I dare say I'll probably have another scan around the 28-week mark. That's typical for me, and that is just to make sure again that my cervix isn't shortening prematurely, because I've had preterm labours in the past. But yeah, that is pretty much the update. I hope that it has been informative. Again, I'm sorry that it took so long to get this up. I'll probably try and do another update next week after my 16-week ultrasound, just to give you guys a heads up on what it's looking like, whether we're looking like we're going to have to do some intervention, maybe a stitch or something like that to stop preterm labour. But yeah, I thought I'd update you guys after that, and then I think the next update I might wait until after the 20-week ultrasound. So there's a couple of updates coming. I'm probably not going to do them realistically every week or every fortnight, because I'm a mum of 2 crazy boys that always need my attention. So I'm lucky Jake is sleeping today, so I was able to film this video. I am going to leave you though with a bit of a bump update so you guys can see how bump is tracking. Honestly, it just looks like I've eaten a ton of carbs. But yeah, we're going to leave you there, and we will see you guys in our next video. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you guys in our next update. Bye guys!